How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout. I'm your host, FaZe Crypto, and in this episode, I think it'll be pretty interesting to have a discussion regarding the current situation involving the cryptocurrency space. Hold on. So what we're gonna be seeing now, I think, is in terms of a lot of these different cryptocurrency analysis and what have you. A lot of the general consensus surrounding this topic. I think a lot of people have been talking about the amount of Bitcoin that could actually possibly be in the hands of everybody in the world, and that window to actually own a full Bitcoin, well, that window is slowly changing. It's shifting, and it's pretty funny to actually look at all this stuff. But first of all, we have to understand all these different variables that are at play behind the scenes, and what we could actually see, which is really integral to this topic of Russia and what they've been doing involving cryptocurrency. And you have to take into consideration how many countries and entities in the world actually get their cues from what happens with Russia first, and then it sort of trickles down. And especially with everything that's happening from a global perspective, we could really expect to be seeing some interesting levels of adoption when it comes to cryptocurrency, and especially with all these different banks and so forth, and the different moves that have been made. But first, I just like to start off. This guy, this tweet right here, had 1,400 sitting in the savings account with Wells Fargo since '97. Forgot about it till now. They told me they don't have it. They closed it after 2 years of inactivity. They told me the state has it. Called the state. They don't have it. I think that's funny because you have that money sitting in your bank account, and it's not going to go up, it's not going to go down. Sure, inflation and all these different things will be a factor, but for the most part, it's going to be the same $1,400 that you saw, that you started off with. But hell, imagine if you invested in some Bitcoin through that in a wallet, some sort of thing, and right now you'd be picking it up. It would still be there, for one, and of course on top of that, you'd be looking at a lot of these different things. Probably getting that's just one thing. Of course, Bitcoin, nobody would have expected it to reach $3,860. That was just completely from any of us who've been here from the start. For people who've been paying attention to how crypto has been sort of taking off and moving in all these different directions, I think we're going to have a good time in this video just looking at a lot of these different cryptocurrency predictions, and of course what we can expect to see in terms of how these predictions have come full circle, and some of them have not been realized. And of course big Bitcoin bulls return to market, crypto spring coming, according to Forbes. Sort of an interesting article to see right there. But I just like to look at how the digital landscape of the world has been developing, and how we're to expect to see what cryptocurrency is actually going to be, as far as having a impact. I think that in the future, it'll be very hard to get your hands on more than a 0.1, 0.1 Bitcoin, all these different things. I think people right now are taking it for granted that you could basically own an entire Bitcoin for next to nothing, which is pretty hilarious. If you are, I just think about these things, and I just wanted to make this video to, this is essentially a rant, sort of, so I apologize, it's not my normal type of video, but I just want to just put this out here right now that in the future I don't expect it to be possible to get your hands on a lot of Bitcoin. I mean, when these things finally get up and running, now of course, I mean, always do your research and make sure that you can get yourself positioned in the right way. I mean, obviously this video is not any kind of advice, but it is really, this is a prediction for the future. I could easily envision a world completely run on digital crypto. I mean, not even if it is specifically the crypto space that we see right now. It's quite amazing that the system still functions the way that it currently does. I mean, we want to talk about the fact that the system has been able to sort of put along, and I expect that it will, continue to move. But I mean, just looking at this, number right here, the global debt, this is sort of a meme that we love to bring up on here. This global debt clock. Well, where is it? This is the wrong one. But if you guys are ever losing, I mean, if you ever have a friend who is gonna tell you that cryptocurrency it doesn't have a future, just bring up this global debt calculator, and it'll pretty much level the playing field as far as the conversation goes. U.S. debt just pretty much crossed an important milestone now at 22, and only going in one direction. I mean, it's not ticking backwards by any means, which is of course part and parcel to the conversation that we're engaging in this video, which is of course the delicacy of the house of cards that's essentially built around us, and what we can expect to see moving forward in terms of how cryptocurrency does in fact play a big role. I mean, just if Russia makes its move in adapting crypto, I think that we'll be seeing shortly after that, we'll be following with a lot of interesting shift in narrative, quite similar to what we've been seeing happening thus far. And of course, it is in a large sense already upon us. This big change that's sort of not necessary. It's really a slow crawl. I mean, I think it's crypto is right now probably one of the best kept secrets in the game now of what exactly is going to happen in the future, because it's buried underneath so much noise, so much of I mean, especially the reputation that crypto developed with the bursting of the bubble that we saw, the little bit of air coming out around the time of 2017, 18, this time period where we saw a lot of unrealistic things that were I mean, kind of funny at the same time. I mean, I think we need to talk about how like unrealistic BitConnect and a lot of these different schemes, bad actors on the space that essentially dwindled a lot of the faith that people have in cryptocurrency, which to a large extent I think does block out what people take into consideration as far as XRP is definitely right on the chopping block when it comes to this discussion. Someone in the chat said that XRP is going to be like the Facebook cryptocurrency and all these different things, which is kind of funny to think that with the establishment dying in its current form, that cryptocurrency would come to be the savior at the, I mean, right at the last minute, the sort of the lifeboats on the Titanic, if you that sort of analogy, the movement over to digital currency, the realistically happening right before our eyes, which of course is also a pretty interesting thing when it comes down to just seeing how these different variables have been sort of compiling upon one another. And I mean, I'm definitely excited to see how Bitcoin and all these different things. I mean, one of these interesting, I believe it was like 0.0003 of percentage of basically, it's only possible for people of the world to own that much Bitcoin. And when we actually see a lot of these different spaces and so forth, that'll be these institutional money and stuff that'll be sucking up all this Bitcoin, it is pretty funny to imagine exactly what's going to happen. And it seems like people are really only interested in getting their Bitcoin for a price that's when it's unreasonable. I mean, it's kind of funny that at one time we would see like so much interest in this space when it's so unaffordable to actually get a Bitcoin. And at this point, so I mean, at the time of writing, Bitcoin is trading up marginally at its current price of 3,880. Last week, BTC soared to highs of 4,200 before losing steam and quickly retracing to 3,018. Where we found some levels of support. Recently, Bitcoin has been experiencing increased levels of volatility on the weekends, so it's a strong possibility that the cryptocurrency will break either above or below its recent established trading range between 3,800 and 3,900. Although there hasn't been any significant positive price action over the past week, it is important to notice that BTC has formed its first green candle on the monthly chart in 8 months, which means that February did prove to be a good month for the crypto. I think that right now, I mean, we're seeing we got in the chat 0.0028 BTC per person on Earth. No one wants BTC now, but they will at 20K. Yeah, that sort of sums it up. I mean, I think that definitely that's the idea that we're looking for. I mean, it's sort of like people don't want something unless it's wicked expensive, and so the sort of just the video to get an idea of what we can expect to see, in terms of how the narrative is going to shift. I mean, I kind of have pride this channel as sort of a following of the narrative of how cryptocurrency has been managed by the public consciousness. I think one thing that this channel has actually served to do is catalog exactly how we've been seeing these sort of variables as they've been coming up to this point. And it definitely it does amaze me. I think in the future people will look back on this sort of content like this video that we're making here, and they'll remember and wish that they had listened, wish that they had actually been more conscious of this point in time, especially with all these different countries like India and all these places all around the world really going ham with cryptocurrency, which is kind of funny. I mean, they're ready to come onto the global stage swinging. And I think that I mean, we are very early in the space, so of course it's interesting to see, so anytime I mention crypto to friends, family, they think I'm crazy. I feel like Noah trying to get them on the ark. You and me both, buddy. It is interesting to see how this, and I'm not just here to sing Bitcoin's praises. I mean, I think that there are a lot of things that we need to be very critical of, especially in this time. We've got to keep our wits about us, because as the space is developing in this time, it is very it's almost as delicate as it is profound. But I think that So it is interesting to see how this space is going to sort of shift the dialogue, happening around that dinner table, and how people are going to actually, look at all these different things. But I'm certainly excited. I'm glad I made this video today, just discussing the future of what we can expect from Bitcoin and how this space is going to sort of develop over time. But yeah, so I mean, just keep doing your research, I guess. Lambos look different than they used to. That's funny. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, especially with the decline of legacy social media. I mean, like Facebook and even YouTube to a certain extent, all these platforms, and Twitter and all these, I mean, Facebook sort of leading the charge. We'll be seeing cryptocurrency sort of coming in and making its waves on the space as it sort of comes to the rescue of the dying establishment. But yeah, that's enough for me for now, but I'll see you guys in the next video, and have a good one.